Welcome to episode 34 of It's No Secret Podcast Live. We are your hosts, Teresa, Bianca Rose, and Nikita
I'm
today.
back. Subbed
Hello.
in.
Tag me in.
Tag me in,
That's
coach.
right, I
From the black girl side. Bam.
know. How are you, Nikita?
I am good. It's another fun day. I'm finally recovered, but I'm gonna save it for my low, so I'll wait.
Okay. We're getting ahead of ourselves. My bad. But hopefully everybody's doing good. Thank you to everyone who's already tuned in and watching us live on our Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook pages. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And make sure you guys comment so that you guys can be part of the show too. But if you've ever watched an episode of It's No Secret, you know we start with our highs and lows. And I get to start today with our lows. So my low for the week, Wednesday to Wednesday, is that my parents are going to San Francisco today and I don't get to see them.
Aw.
And I'm
Look at it
super
without you.
jealous right now. Because, so originally we were supposed to go at the same time when I went to California. And due to my mom's obligations to the church, we had to postpone. But I couldn't postpone. So, the big man upstairs needed some help. But yeah, I don't get to see them.
Aw. Did they ever come down here?
They do, mostly my mom, but she doesn't travel without my dad now because
Do they fly or drive?
they fly.
Oh.
To here?
Yes, to here.
Okay. Are they deep in Mexico or just like kind of
They're in Jalisco, Guadalajara, so that's like west
mhm.
side, central west Mexico. Yeah.
I know my Mexico. I don't know the town, but I know a little Mexico.
I'm like, I'm like,
Compass Rose. You're like,
yeah.
oh, wait.
It's like, where's Christopher
Wind?
Columbus? I'm like, where's my compass at?
Yeah. So they're over on the west side, but it's actually a shorter flight to here than it is to San Francisco, but whatever. But hopefully they'll be coming in the fall if our plans go.
Just a wait. It'll be a little cooler then, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Honestly.
Yeah, my dad won't come in the summertime. He does not like Texas in the summer.
I don't want to be.
I don't know who does.
Amen. Amen. B, what's your low?
My low is that. So y'all know I moved into like the apartments, and now because it's so hot, speaking of hot weather, I've been seeing ants, and I don't like ants.
Oh no.
I don't know what to do. I don't know how to treat them. Like I know obviously the apartments take care of that, but immediately, what do I do? Because I've just been vacuuming them up.
That's not true.
So
I have other things.
I mean, I tried like the little borax thing to kill all the stupid ones that are willing enough to go for it. But the ones that are like free nilly walking around, I've been vacuuming them up. So I have like a little ant terrarium.
I was like, are you emptying the container?
Yeah.
It's just give new pets.
Wipe down and spray.
It's annoying. Only because like they fooled me yesterday. Because I just had this problem for like the last couple of days. And on the first day, I was like, oh, text Nikita. I'm like, hey, help me out here. What do I do? I'm just a girl. I don't know what to do. I'm just a girl living on my own. I don't know what to do. She's more established on her own. So problem solved. I'm looking for solutions.
An older girl living on my own.
An older girl.
So yeah, she kind of helped me out there. And then like yesterday, they were all gone. So I was like, wow, solutions work. And then this morning, they just like, psych.
Don't leave anything out.
I don't. That's the thing. It's not like it's on food. It's not on counters. It's nothing like that. It's just
they're just magically appearing.
Yeah, they're just magically appearing kind of thing. So it's like, okay, yeah, that's it. Experiencing that.
When I was younger, we used to use this Chinese chalk that my mom would buy at the Chinese store.
Oh, I bet.
But we couldn't even touch it. Like we had to grab it with gloves or a napkin or something because apparently it was really toxic. And now they don't sell it anymore. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure we weren't supposed to be having that. Like
that got me excited. I'm like, girl, send it to me.
No, seriously. I've tried to find it like on Amazon and stuff just because it like literally you could watch the ant like walk over the chalk line that you draw and then they just drop dead.
Oh, that's a little intense.
Well,
Okay.
that's what I
Yeah.
wanted. That's what I expected to happen with the little borax that Nikita gave me because I'm like, how do I use this? She was like, mix it with like water and sugar
Yeah.
and it'll dissolve. And you kind of just like leave a little trail on a little, like a petri dish basically, and have a little trail coming outside of it. And then me being impatient as fuck,
Yes.
I
She's
put the little
poured it
petri
on
dish
them.
down and I'm looking at the ants. I'm literally looking at the ants and I'm like, well, go to it. Is it not good? And then so I got like a little like pen or a little like toothpick or something, and I like dipped it in the water, and I was dipping the little trails, and they were ignoring it. So I'm like, oh my god. So I would dip it in more, and I would drop it on top of an ant. I'm like, eat it.
Just put it in your mouth.
Just put it in the
Die.
Say
just do
ah.
it.
Say ah.
The
Uh,
airplane.
I was so impatient. I was like, just eat it. Come on.
Oh man,
It's
that
good, right?
sucks. Ants having ants sucks.
I am such an impatient person. So
Well, your lesson will be patience then.
Ooh, that's trying to tell you something.
Oh yeah.
tell that to my dating life. I know this.
Wow.
Do-do-do.
Nikita, what was your low?
My low, since we get to go Wednesday to Wednesday, my low is that I was recovering from COVID for the first time. I was
know.
clean for 5 flipping years.
How was it being that
It
you were a
wasn't,
COVID virgin?
God, it wasn't gentle, I'll tell you that.
Oh, no lube. No, just kidding.
No, not a kiss, not a nothing. It was just bend over and take it. And I was like,
Aw.
not even a hi, hello,
Not even a
nothing.
lube. No, just kidding.
So, and everybody that I've told, it was like my first, everyone's like, oh yeah, you just get a little COVID. And I was like, no, I never had it. I will not like you dirty people, you fucking filthy animals. I never had it. And it's
That's me.
crazy
I was like,
because Bianca and I were both training during Go Live, which was the middle of the pandemic. When they sent us back, I was registering COVID patients. I mean, like all day, every day. And I was like,
and
I'm
you
not
still
getting this. I
need
shared an
it?
office with 3 people, and 2 of them kept saying, like, oh my gosh, no, like we're all gonna get it. Like we should all just get it. We can all just get it and we'll be done. I was like, speak for yourself. I'm not getting COVID.
No,
Yeah.
it's not fun.
It
I
was
mean,
not fun.
maybe if you would have gotten it a long time ago, it would have just like ripped the band-aid off. Like now
No,
it's like no biggie.
no,
Yeah,
Because
now
now
we
I'm
don't
like,
even know if we
oh,
get it. No, I'm just kidding.
I've had it a few times. Yeah, like it's
no.
not that bad.
No, thank
The
you.
first time I almost died, so I can imagine like Nikita also was like, I'm dead, I'm dying.
No,
I had to
it
like
was not. It
pulse check
wasn't
every
as.
morning.
I think the thing that was scary was that I had never had it, and I saw like Bernice. I saw several people where I was like, and we lost people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I was like, how bad is this about to be? What am I in for? But
Mm.
no, I'm
I'm
still
glad you
alive.
made it up the other side.
Yeah, I did. My brother, all late today, called me, and I was like, hi, can I talk? What? And he goes, are you at work? I said, yeah, it's a weekday. What are you talking about? And he goes, I thought you were still sick. I said, all this time later?
No, just kidding.
He's like, wow, you don't
No.
believe in me at all. You didn't think I would get better.
You just thought that your daughter was going to get all my dolls, and she's not. So that was my low, was that I can't say like y'all dirty people anymore. I'm like, well, like, like a regular person might have gotten COVID. Just a regular.
She's
You
just a
should have.
virgin that can't drive.
We should have
Whatever.
taken Michelle's advice. You never had COVID if you never test yourself.
No, ma'am, because I said, I think I feel like maybe I'm just tired. Like I had a long weekend. Maybe I'm just tired. And I woke up and I said, I'm not just tired.
Sounding all manly.
Yeah, I was a man. It was me, Nicholas. And then when I went to get tested, they were like, yeah, your fever is already like 101. I said, oh, we're gonna probably need to do this. We're gonna do the swab.
Yeah.
Give me my copay back.
Give me my copay back. That's well, I'm glad you're feeling better.
So much better. Thank you.
Good. All right, highs.
Hi.
So high, I have 2.
Double trouble.
Double trouble.
Double
The first
goodies.
one, it kind of ties to my one about my parents not seeing them. But I did find out within the last couple of days that my father-in-law is coming to visit us again. So
Aw.
I'm excited about that. Unlike most people, I actually like my father-in-law. So yeah, I'm really excited that he's coming and we're getting ready for that. He's going to be here for what's the next holiday? What is it? Labor Day weekend? Yeah, that.
Yeah. When the kiddies get ready to go.
Yes. My
Mhm.
other high was actually sharing with people at work. I was at lunch with them one of the days this week that I was working, or was it last
It's
week? It
probably
might have been
yesterday.
last week. Sharing the story of Bianca getting harassed by someone on our YouTube about
Oh, yeah.
about ghosting them. That shit was funny. I'm sorry, B.
And that person's probably sitting right there being like, that's my
And they're
username.
still
That
probably
shit
watching now.
was
Hi.
fucking hilarious, and we still can't figure out who it is.
I don't know who that was.
I know who it is in
Sorry,
my heart.
sorry to this man.
Or
Sorry to
woman.
this woman if
Or
it was a
woman.
woman,
Yeah, you never
because
know.
that's
You
also a
never
possibility.
Yeah, I was like, I
Love
don't
it.
know who it is.
The possibilities are too wide, and
Yeah. Half of San Antonio qualifies. Talk
Damn.
on the radio.
It's a part of Laredo. Oh, fuck. B, what's your high?
uh, my high is that I actually spent the weekend with my siblings. So similar to what you
Got
had
them in
last
the
week.
comment.
Oh, no.
Hi. Thank you for not
Hey,
leaving us.
we were just talking about you. No, just kidding.
I may
They said I
ghost
heard you on
them, but
Tuesday
they don't
talking
ghost
about it.
us. And I appreciate that.
Thank you for being part of my high this week. Appreciate you, bro. Or
It's an
sis.
honorary
Or
guest.
gender neutral sibling. Go off sibling.
Yes. Oh, shit. All right, B.
Thank you
Sorry.
for your
Pop your
return.
social in the comments.
Yeah, right.
Oh, fuck. Okay, go, B.
Okay. Okay, there's little heart emojis. Hard feelings.
Aw, there you go. Yeah, it's all love. It's all love.
Mhm.
All right, B, you're high.
Yeah, my high is that I spent almost the entire weekend with all of my siblings. Because Nikita was down for the count, she threw me off my schedule, and I had no
Wait,
one
so
to hang
you
out
didn't
with.
buy plants this weekend?
Hey.
No, we did.
I'm not dead.
I know. That's
It's like we didn't say that, but she threw my plans off like routine. So Friday I woke up texting one sister. I was like, "Hey, do you want to hang out?"
I need a friend.
And so she said, "Yeah." So all of Friday I spent with the day with one sister, and then the next day, um, my other sister and brother decided to come, and my niece and my in-law, and they all ended up staying the night. I'm like, thank God I had the space for it.
Yeah.
They knew
But
you had the space for it.
yeah, they knew I had the space
They
for it.
scoped it out.
Mhm.
Yeah. So basically had a both sibling slumber party and just spent the
Aw,
entire
it's
weekend with them. So
fun.
we did a lot of pool days back to back. So I got a little bit darker. Oh my
You
God.
got a little sun there,
A
yeah.
little sun kissed.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, so that was a good weekend.
Nice.
Nikita.
My high was that I recovered and went to the plant store, baby.
You survived, back on
So
schedule.
many bucks. Shout out to
God.
Rainbow Garden. Shout out to Craig. Shout out
Shout
to
out
our
Craig.
new friend. Insert
Mary
name here.
Kay.
Yeah, there we go. Mary Kate. Last name I definitely know, but I didn't want to shout her out all the way.
Yeah, let's not put her government name out there. Yeah.
Oh, I've got her government name in my phone. So they
Yeah, honestly.
recognize and they said, do you mind if can I share my phone number with you so you can text me what you want? I'm the one that does the
Yeah,
order.
we
Oh,
loved her. She was like,
wow.
she goes, I'm the one who orders the plants. If you ever want something, let me know and I'll order it. Girl, put your number
That's
in
your
my
new
phone right
best
now.
friend. Yeah.
Yes.
Did you guys subscribe her to the podcast?
We're working on it. We want to
we
slow
already
step
got
it.
Topher Chili's, you know.
We see
Hey,
who's watching.
Topher.
Hey, Toph. So yeah, August is when they honor all of the coupons that you've been building up over the year, and so I got my entire cart half off.
So you guys must
And
have
I
made
lost
it
my mind
rain.
there. Oh yeah. We were literally talking next to the locked up cabinet that somebody bought 2 plants out of, not me. I don't know who would have been. But we were like, okay, we ball today. Everything's half off. We got dollars. And the guy behind us was like, I'm with them. My cart's on theirs. I don't know you.
Just
So,
making
yeah.
it rain with coupons.
I was. The lady was like, do you happen
Honestly.
to have any coupons? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, do you happen to have $54 worth of coupons? And I said, and some. Yes, ma'am. Hi, I'll be back next week.
Nice. Well, not like you weren't going to be back next week
I
anyway.
was gonna be back. She doesn't need to know that. She's new because she was asking me if I had coupons. The fact she was asking, she didn't know.
Like if you, yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, I come every other weekend, if not every weekend.
Yeah, I
That's
haven't seen you here.
literally.
You're like, I have several booklets of coupons. No, just
I
kidding.
promise you, like literally, instead of them doing like, oh, peel it off, I had a stack of like $3 ones.
Oh,
They were just like,
wow.
here's a stack.
Not
of
just $3 ones, $5
I
one,
had a
$10
stack
ones.
that they didn't even rip off though, and I
Oh.
did have a couple of higher dollar ones.
Yeah,
I
she
was like,
had
I don't
enough
have any
to
purple
say,
ones.
Bianca, do you want to use some of my
Do you need
coupons
some
for
of my
this? I'm
coupons?
like,
Do you need?
that's your hard-earned money.
I
You
did.
keep that.
You went over here. Oh, I'm just gonna get a pot though. So I'm like, I'll take 2 trees.
Damn.
Load them up. Craig.
Well, yeah. Well,
Correct.
fast forward to next year, and that might just be me because I'm still in my
Hey.
baby era, not learning my fucking lessons. I just now graduated to plans that cost more than $10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 5 plants behind you just now.
No, you don't.
You know.
I was like, in my first cabinet, I have not
One
my
that-
second
Oh
one, not
my god, Nikita's
outdoor.
whole setup. She's been like
Baby.
doing IKEA DIYs that are like TikTok or Instagram inspired, and it looks like TikTok, Instagram pictures. Like, oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Nikita.
I sent it to my brother and I was like, what do you think? And he was like, oh, is that like your inspiration pic? I said, baby, that's my living room.
Hey.
Call me a
Crazy.
plant influencer.
We're gonna do it.
Rainbow Garden
Dedicate.
sponsor me.
We're gonna dedicate an episode to like plant introductions. We're gonna introduce the plants to the world.
Be like, so this
There's
is
not enough time for that. And then
Just
Nikita's
hour,
freaking fruit trees that she has in the backyard. We don't got time for that.
I
She doesn't
know.
have the strength for that.
We're
She
gonna
can show you
need a-
pictures.
We need a virtual tour.
it's just me holding the laptop. I'm like, do you see all of them?
Lord.
No, but that was really, really, really good. My mom, I told her, because my mom was such an actual sweetheart. When I told her I tested positive, we were supposed to have a family dinner at my house. And she was like, oh, girl.
She's like, cancel that.
No.
Yeah.
So I woke up and I saw a text that just said, did you get the package? And I was like, who, what? And I went outside and it was a care package that had like soup, like drinks, snacks from when I was a kid. I opened it up and I was like, she goes, I didn't even know they still made these. I said, me either, because I famously won't go into a grocery store. But it was just so sweet because I was like, I'll crawl to the door and maybe, oh, thank God.
The drama. No,
Because
that's
I
awesome,
don't have
though.
food in the house. I just don't, it's not a thing. My refrigerator's for alcohol.
That's right.
Nice.
And
My
mixers.
kind of refrigerator.
And then random condiments. I was like, I can't make much with leftover alcohol and one pickle that's dried up and mustard. And so
Yeah.
she was
Well,
like,
that
God, I know my
sounds
child.
so appealing. Yeah, she knows you well. No, that's good though, because you know when you're sick like that, you don't want to do shit. So it's nice to be taken.
It's nice to know that someone cares.
Yeah.
Yes.
for sure.
Someone to go to that length to do that.
Yeah.
They're a little sweet.
All right. So for today's episode,
Whee!
we're going to be talking about depression.
Sharp turn.
There was no way to go into that from what we were just talking about.
I tried to
Loving you.
segue with care packages.
Check on your friends that don't have COVID. How about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. We're going to talk about depression. We're going to share our own personal experiences with depression and just kind of get into all that. But before we dive in, let's make sure we're all talking about the same thing, right? So what is depression to you guys? I have a mental health professional
That's
here.
that's
Should we start with that?
I will give the lifetime version of what it is. I will always
Lifetime version.
traumatize what depression is. Go ahead.
All right. So according to mental health professionals
Mhm.
and the internet,
Not to
you
Google.
might be experiencing depression if you've had 5 or more of these symptoms for most of the day, nearly every day, for at least 2 weeks.
There we go.
Oh, we're filling
Okay.
out that PHQ-9.
Yes, we're going
exactly.
down the PHQs here. All right. So again, 5 or more of these. So
All right.
one, feeling
Put a finger
sad,
down if no, that's right.
feeling sad or hopeless. No, I'm just kidding. Feeling sad or hopeless is the first one. losing interest in things you used to enjoy, big changes in appetite or weight, trouble sleeping or sleeping too much, feeling tired all the time, feeling worthless or guilty, trouble thinking or concentrating, moving or speaking slower or feeling restless, and then thoughts of death or suicide.
So I think I didn't know that you were going to like kind of do the questionnaires thing. And I think that's a really good source to kind of keep going back
Mm,
to recognize like the signs of personal experience and each other and dealing with it and things like that. Um, because a lot of the times a lot of people think that depression is experiencing everything all at once,
right.
and
Mm,
that's not always the case.
No.
So I do like the fact that you kind of explain what the questions are because that's medically what is being looked for. Um, a lot of the times people will say, "Oh, no, I'm depressed," and it's a very kind of like that, like, "Oh, the tism, the depression," like that's like something that people tend to joke about, but sometimes those jokes are real,
Yeah.
and sometimes people don't even realize that those are actual signs that you need to
yeah.
consider.
Mhm.
So, can you repeat the first two questions?
The first two
Symptoms.
symptoms.
Yeah.
The first one was feeling sad or hopeless, and the second one was losing interest in things you used to enjoy.
Okay. So, I think like those kind of questions, can we talk about how you recognize them in yourselves or if you see it in others, like just in general, recognizing depression in general, starting with those. Is that something that any one of us three have experience in?
So I've definitely felt those first two. I think the only I've never been clinically diagnosed as depressed because I don't go to the doctor as much as I
Right.
probably should.
Okay, you follow Michelle's advice.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't go to the
It's not a
doctor as much as
problem.
I
This is
probably
not a
should.
problem.
It's a cultural thing, okay? We just go when we're dying.
Mm.
Um, but I feel like my little stint with depression happened after my last child, which could have been tied to postpartum, but a lot of like if you really research postpartum depression, there's a lot of feelings involved towards the baby as well. In a lot of the explanations of postpartum depression, I mean, obviously it's not just that, it's
I was
everything
like, is that a
encompassing.
requirement or is that like
No, I
their
don't think it's
like
a
rock sign?
requirement, but they do, like, tend to add that in with the postpartum, like, the feelings of, like, not really wanting to, like, essentially engage with your child,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
And I've never felt that part of it, but I definitely did go through a phase where I completely lost interest in the things that I enjoyed doing every day. I definitely had trouble sleeping for a while during that time. I definitely felt exhausted
Oh, I'm sure.
during that time. Like the lack of energy was ridiculous. Um, Going towards the feeling worthless or guilty, I felt a lot of guilt more so because of like my family environment. Like, oh, I'm not being present enough, or I'm not doing this enough. I'm not being mom enough. I'm not being wife enough. I'm not like, so those feelings kind of fed into that time. Um, but I'd say those were really kind of the main things that I had felt during that time. Again, never clinically diagnosed as depressed,
Mm.
but it was definitely longer than 2 weeks that I was feeling that way.
I
For
always
sure.
go back to the time bounded portion of it because people be like, oh my God, I'm so depressed. And it's like,
For today.
no, your grandma died and it's
Right.
been 2 days. Like you're sad.
Yeah.
That's not depressed.
Right.
Yeah. And I think too, like differentiating the depressive feeling and the depression diagnosis is something
Mhm.
that's kind of,
It's important.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Feelings are still
Um,
valid, but I love that we're being
correct.
precise with the language
Mhm.
because then that is just more information for people to have. And we're saying the same thing with this, and we mean the same thing.
Hmm.
And I've definitely had, like that loss of interest in the things that used to give you positive feelings.
Mhm.
You're, gone through those phases. And then to your point before, where it's like, okay, well, is it a life event that is happening and I'm justified
Mhm.
in feeling this? Or is this not bounded in reality? And this is an inappropriate reaction or an
Yeah.
overarching reaction to things. I always like to say, is that what I said, or is that what you heard? And you're feeling like, oh, nobody cares, or, this is not going to happen for me, blah, blah, blah. And then you go back and you're like, there's so much going on,
Yeah.
there's all
Mhm.
these other things, but you can't in that moment feel that or see it, that there's
Mhm.
all this other positive stuff going on when it's like, that's the loudest thing in the room.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So
Nikita, are you or have you ever been clinically diagnosed?
I was not, maybe as a child, because that Wellbutrin, we've had conversations in the past. I was in high school, I was on it, and I was like, oh, I can't take this. I literally felt like I was watching a movie of my day,
Oh, wow.
and it was literally, it's a terrible feeling. And I was like, oh, I'll just not take these pills. I'm not doing it. Um, it was really bad. And the side effects, and I'm sure, and advocating, being very honest,
Yeah.
talk to a mental health professional and try other formulations and all of that. But at the time I was like, I'm just not, no, because I would go to class. I was a busy
Mhm.
child. And I would just feel like I'm sitting behind my eyes watching the
You
day
are like
happen.
autopilot mode.
Yes.
Mm.
I do not feel like I'm interacting with other people.
Mm.
And I just feel like I'm watching a movie of my day.
That
My
is
I have
so
no
scary to
control.
me.
Yes.
Yeah, that is so terrifying to me because I got control issues like a mug.
And to your point, you kind of mentioned that kind of messing with the chemistry of being on certain medications, you run that risk of I am on a medication to help the diagnosis,
Mhm.
but sometimes when trying to figure out the right medication or dosing and all that, you could potentially enhance the thing that you're trying to stop.
Yes.
So it's that roller coaster of healing and trying to figure out what is going to help with this.
Yeah.
Have you been clinically diagnosed as depressed? B?
Yes, I am clinically diagnosed.
Okay.
So I am diagnosed with major depressive disorder and have been diagnosed since I was about 19 years old.
Mhm.
Obviously, no, well, not obviously, but after my attempt at life to not be life, um, yeah, that was a big thing. And uh, it's a feeling that I had always felt even in the teen years, but to your point, what you had mentioned earlier is like culturally, that's not something that is addressed.
Mhm.
Mm.
So it wasn't until it was a legal issue, until it was a health issue that it was addressed, and it wasn't by my own accord. It was just a step as to what I was going through at the time that it was kind of pinpointed as that.
Mm.
So I still suffer from that, and I am on medications for that still actively. And I am dependent of those medications because off them, me, my family, and my surroundings, it is apparent when I am not on it or when it's not working or, if it's just something out of my control.
Yeah.
I do want to highlight the comment on YouTube that
She's she's
She's
sweet
sweet.
Uchiha.
Uchiha.
she's sweet. Is that how you say it? She's sweet. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. They said it's
Weed.
harder to tell depression in men, and men are 4 times more likely to end it. So this
Yes.
is my experience with a clinical diagnosis. I wish that we had a man on here to kind of bring that aspect into it because I think it's very important.
Yeah.
Because the conversations that we're going to have today, keep in mind, they are perspectives and experiences from a female's perspective, firsthand, secondhand, different things. But definitely the depression in men is not talked about enough. And I definitely want to keep highlighting that aspect in this episode
Yeah.
because I think that's very important considering that I constantly live through it. I don't want to
Mhm.
lose sight of the fact that that is an important thing to note.
Yeah.
I think, and I've had conversations with male friends, and we've talked about toxic masculinity, and is that like, men are told, suck it up, be a man. So they are more likely to act out in a socially acceptable way, which is anger, because
Mhm.
that's, punch a wall. Oh, I'm so strong.
Mm,
And instead of processing it, and anger can be a symptom of depression, but
Mhm.
instead of saying like, I'm sad, I'm lonely, I need physical touch, I need positive affirmation, it is get big and scary.
mm,
Mm.
And I think that a lot of times and again, to your point, not a man, I pretend
Right.
on the weekend sometimes.
mm,
But um, I think that a lot of times it is not acceptable. It's not acceptable across the board for people to say, I'm sad, I'm not happy, because then in my experience, when you say those things, then your friends feel like, well, like you have all of this going on and
Right.
I'm not a good friend. You're saying you're lonely, but I'm right here. So at least with women, I think that it's more acceptable and we are more conditioned to say like, hey girl, I'm
I'm
really
going
not
through
feeling
it.
check
Yeah.
in.
good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And for men, it's more like, oh, don't come over here with that. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm
Right.
uncomfortable processing my emotions. How am I going to talk to you about yours?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think just bringing up the topic of depression in general depends on who it is that you're bringing it up to.
Yeah.
Um, Again, to Teresa's points, culturally, if I were to tell mom growing up like, hey, I think I'm depressed, and be like, depressed about what? You're a child, or kind of
Exactly.
invalidate the
Yes.
feeling,
Yes.
Yeah.
or coming to
That's
a
some white people shit.
friend that is like, I thought I was here, I don't know how to help you, I don't know why.
Yeah.
um the topic of it, I think it's kind of skewed. So what are your thoughts on either culturally it's like it does not exist, depression is not real, or the social media aspect where depression is fun and it's kind of like, oh, haha, tee
I'm
going
not
through
like the rest
depression.
of you girls.
Yeah.
Right. Or it turns into a fad.
Right.
Mhm.
No, for me, it was definitely like culturally frowned upon, and more so towards the men. To Nikita's point, men have to suck it up and be men, right?
Yeah.
But even for women in, at least in like our Hispanic household, it was like even bringing up something like therapy or things like that was so like faux pas and very like, well, you're not crazy. Like, I'm
Hmm.
not saying I'm crazy.
You're gonna pay somebody to talk to them? What are you doing?
Right.
Yeah.
Just talk
Mhm.
to
Look at all
me.
the
I'll
things you
charge
have.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like for me at least culturally it definitely was not something that we really even talked about
Yeah.
ever.
I think
Yeah.
to your point, Bianca, it's that thing like you're a child, like what are you depressed about? Your room, your
Right.
PS5, whatever
Yeah.
it is. I think that people can be dismissive of children. And there are children that are
Mhm.
literally clinically brain chemistry. I nothing you could do, mom. I can give me all the
Right.
hugs,
Mhm.
all of the toys. I am
Mhm.
not, it's not situational. It is literally my brain chemistry.
Yeah. I will
So
say though that with the awareness that is out there now more about depression, and then to your point B with like the internet fads and all that stuff, like sometimes this younger generation uses that as an excuse.
I
And
was gonna ask you as a mom
yeah,
too.
like sometimes you have to it's made it more difficult for a parent to try to delineate like are you just complaining and trying to get out of doing something or are you actually feeling these
Mm,
things for this extended period of time? Are you actually having thoughts that I now need to be concerned about?
mm,
And so it does kind of muddy the waters a little bit sometimes.
And I think too, maybe I imagine it would feel as a parent to feel like, well, am I failing my child? Like, are you saying I'm a bad mom? Are you saying I'm a bad caregiver? Like
Right.
my love is not enough.
Mm.
But
But at the same time, it's not about the parent. You know what I
right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's,
yeah,
you have to remove yourself from the situation.
yeah.
But
Real
I think
quick,
it would be hard to take.
Shisui in our comments said Hispanic community is notorious for ignoring it and making it seem weak. I think now it's thrown around too much.
And I
Not
think
to
that
take this
running
one
that
too
risk of
far.
being thrown around too much, it loses its value and the severity of the actual topic itself.
Right.
But I kind of want to touch base on what you said, like the depression in children. I know we kind of talked about the PHQ questions, basically.
Right.
Depression shows up different in male and female. To Nikita's point, depression
Mhm.
shows up different in ages as well,
Right.
teenagers and adults, because you can't ask a teenager like, have you noticed loss of interest, because they have a lot of hobbies and activities in school. What is an adult's interest and hobbies? Most of the time, like if you ask an adult now, what do you like to do for fun, everyone's like, what, when do I have time for
Be
fun?
off the clock.
And so
Yeah.
you can't
Right.
recognize some of those questions because they aren't applicable to that phase of life.
Well, I
Mhm.
think that
So
they tailor it because we had a child, being very real, who was a separated migrant who came in and got separated from his parents, and he came in to get seen. That questionnaire for children is different than we do for adults, is different than we do for older people, elderly. I don't want to call them elderly. No shame in being experienced on this earth.
the geriatrics.
They tailor it to make it make sense for each stage of life. So I think that it is important because for an older person that's got a lot more experience, you can speak to things differently. And maybe it's like, well, I
Right.
feel so tired. And it's like, yeah, you're old. Sorry. Like, sorry to this man, you're old.
Right.
And that's different than a kid who's going to have all the energy running around playing on the playground, but they might still
Mhm.
meet the criteria. So they do tailor it to different stages of life.
So I think it's like it's important to kind of stress that depression does look different in different age ranges.
It
And different
looks
individuals.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, Nikita. Like, it looks different not just in the stages of life, but people in general are just different. Your body chemistry, your brain chemistry is different for everyone. So,
And your situation. What
yeah.
can you safely
Mm.
express? Because I'm sure it was a safe space, but I may not have felt comfortable telling, my mom, like, oh, this is what's going on.
Mhm.
So thankfully she was able to pick up on it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's
individual to
definitely
individual.
not a one size fits all. It's complicated, it is different for everyone, and I think the most important thing is being able to recognize what it looks like in you when you're going through it.
Mhm.
So, with that said, what were some signs or anything like that that you guys kind of saw or felt in yourself that triggered maybe
Right.
possible
So,
concern? Yeah.
mm. Uh, do you have something?
Oh, I was gonna say, I say for myself, I know my home life. So for the most part, things are kept at a certain level. And once things start to drop off, and I may wake up one day and be like, that has been sitting there for a minute. You haven't
Mm,
completed a thing. You don't have any, like, when's the last time you changed these sheets? Not taking care of myself. I kind of check in and it's like, okay, is it that you've been super busy, or is it that you are not valuing the person that you are and not
mm,
feeling like, hey, I've had those moments where I'm like, it's the weekend and I'm not getting off the couch. I'm not moving. I'm not doing anything. I'm not showering. I'm just going to sit here literally. Like when people talk about bed rotting, like I'm going to get a
yeah.
bed sore. I need to move. I need to get up. It can get, but I've started getting to the point now where I'm like, hey, all right, we've dipped below acceptable levels, checking in. Are you feeling a certain way? Are
Mhm.
that
Mm.
for me is a telltale sign when I notice that my desk at work is always gonna be a mess. But when I notice around here that I'm like,
Yeah.
hold on, like there's a lot of shit in the kitchen that has not been put up. You got these groceries, and yeah, I don't find the value in it's so much effort to put it from here to put it in the pantry.
Mhm.
Mm.
So when I feel like I've
Mm.
run out of steam in that portion, that's when I'm like, hold on a second. Warning sign,
Yeah.
warning sign.
That was actually a very similar warning sign for me too, Nikita, was like, because I'm used to doing things a certain way. I've always been the type of person that like is go, go, go all day. And for some reason, like all of a sudden I was in this phase where I just didn't want to do shit.
Right.
Even if it was something that was like right next to me, like just I think the key word that stuck out to me that you said was the effort. Like,
Yes.
you really think about the effort, like, "Damn, do I even wanna reach my hand over
Is
there
it
and grab
worth
this
it?
shit?" Yeah, like,
Yeah.
is it worth it? For sure. Yeah, so definitely similar for me as far
Yeah.
as little things go.
For me, it's actually changed over the years because a big thing is that in the beginning, I couldn't recognize the depression in myself. It was actually others who recognized it in me first. And it's
Mhm.
mostly my sisters. They are the ones I spent, again, to the siblings episode, I spend a lot of time with them.
Right.
They can kind of recognize when there's a shift. And one of the big things was it kind of still happens now, that when I know and can recognize now that they brought it to my attention is when I'm steeping into that an episode, it starts leading up to I'm very apologetic.
Mm.
Mm.
So, like, I
Can
am
I
very like,
ask
"Oh,
if
I
you
can't
feel
do this right.
comfortable?
I'm sorry for not doing this.
That's the
I
guilt,
start
yeah.
becoming."
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Is it the like I don't feel like, oh gosh, I'm not showing up in the way that I want to? Or
yeah.
is it like
Mm.
I don't know. I guess it's almost the same thing.
It's very much like what it kinda leads into the thought of, "I'm sorry that I'm not doing enough, then I'm not enough."
That's what I was gonna ask.
So, yeah.
Mhm.
So it starts spiral so when I say it starts leading into that, those are the signs where I start apologizing for things that, if I, forget to wash the dishes, I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. I'll do it now." Like, whatever. Then it's like, "I'm sorry I'm not a better role model." And then it starts, kind of drifting into that state
Yeah.
of mind.
Your "I'm
Um
sorries" are really you putting yourself down is what it
Yes.
sounds like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very, very self-inflicted. So,
Mhm.
to contrast to what y'all are saying, you have, like, those physical, like, "Oh, I don't wanna get out of bed," things like that. Mine's is more internally that mental state of, um, I am always gonna be busy. I have to stay busy. Even in a non-depressive episode,
Mhm.
I have to stay busy because I have to feel accomplished in some way. Otherwise, I don't feel worth it. I, as a whole, don't feel like I've accomplished or hold any value. So, my depressive episodes are very much emotional in the fact that I ostracize any type of failure, even if it's career wise, if it's, a daily task that I didn't do, I start making them bigger.
Right.
Mm.
And
That's
it
kind
kind
of,
of
I
gets
guess, what I was getting
catabolic.
at. Is it that you didn't show up the way that you wanted to, or you just felt like you weren't showing up the way that you
Very much the feeling.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, it starts out so small, and for the most part, I think that's a big thing for me. I have a lot of mental, kind of, how do I say it? Like, struggles with it. There are a lot of mental
like the weight.
symptoms.
Yeah.
There,
Mhm.
yeah,
It's not a
it's a very
physical.
much an internal thing.
Internal
So
thing. You're
Mm.
not seeing it on the outside, just
no.
quite, yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I will say too that I noticed in myself during that time was, and that wasn't really mentioned in the 5 or more of these symptoms, was that, I wanted to be isolated. Like, I was very isolated. I wanted to be by myself. I didn't want
Oh,
nobody
yeah.
around me,
Mm,
like those types of feelings. And even if I, because again, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I got a job, I got, things to do. Like,
mhm.
you
Mhm.
kind of force yourself into these situations that internally you're like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be around these people. I
Mm.
don't want to. And then in turn, you start to feel guilty that you're even
Yes.
having the thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, yeah, it's just a big mind fuck going on up there
Mhm.
when you're going through it.
And it sucks because we kind of touched on it earlier where people are like, oh, I'm depressed, but I've only been depressed. I'm feeling depressed because I lost someone 2 days ago. But there are some people who are in that constant downward spiral that lasts for so long.
Mhm.
It could be days, it can be weeks, it can even be months. And some people don't even realize that it can even last this long because it's like, well, you say that you've been in a depressive episode for the last 2 months, but I saw you smiling last week, like you were
Right.
hee ha haing like, not too
Right.
long ago. But it's not that it's that constant like I'm not crying 24/7 for the last, 3 weeks. There are, I can recognize someone can get a chuckle out of me if they can. Yeah, sure.
Right.
But it's such short-lived that you just go right back to it. Or sometimes you mentally make the effort to try to enjoy those things in hopings that it will help. Um, that is a struggle for people who don't recognize the lengths of how long a depressive episode can actually last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
And
think, oh, I'm
I'm,
sorry.
I'm sorry too. I'm really glad you said the thing though about like, oh, I saw you smiling the other day, because a lot of people don't understand that depressed doesn't mean that I'm mopey all the time. Like
Mhm.
there are high functioning depressed people. And so it doesn't necessarily have to be something that you see. I mean, don't get me wrong, signs can be there physically, like we just
Mhm.
talked about the things that we've gone through, but just because somebody's smiling on the outside
Mhm.
does not mean that it is indicative of how they feel on the inside.
Mm.
And I feel that need to be okay or perceived as okay. And so it's like performative.
Ah,
And
that's another yeah.
so it's like, oh yeah, like I don't want to get into it. So yeah, I'm having a great, it's just another fun day, girl.
It's
Hey.
I'm okay. I'm fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's fine.
Well,
It's
for
fine.
me to kind of piggyback off what Nikita just said, I mean, I talked about having that, what was it called? Strong friend identity my
Mhm.
whole life.
Mm,
And so I've always been the strong friend. And so I feel that pressure too, to just be performative and just be like, okay, suck up your feelings, because now
Someone
you got
needs
to be
you.
the rock for other people.
Yeah,
yeah.
And so
yeah,
that's probably another reason why I've never been clinically diagnosed, because all I hear around me is, "Oh, but you're strong. You got it. You're fine. You'll
yeah,
get through it." That
yeah.
kind of thing.
Well, I wanna ask you a question. What
Mhm.
being diagnosed or acknowledging depression, why does that not make you strong? Like, depression is seen as a weakness, and so that kinda deters a lot of people away from acknowledging it, treating it, coping with it, and that in itself can kinda lead to it to making it worse sometimes, but I think depression is, seen as a weakness, and most of the time it's out of our control. All the time, it's out of our control. So I think that's another thing that we need to kinda highlight is depression is not a sign of weakness.
Mm-mm.
Getting treated and acknowledging depression is not a sign of weakness either.
If
Right,
anything, that's a strength in
right.
my book, because for you to be going through what you're going through and being willing to say, I need to go get help,
Yeah,
right? Being willing to hear somebody actually confirm,
Mm,
yes, you are clinically depressed, and these are some things that we might need to look into. You know what I mean? To
mhm.
have to face that, to me, is actually so much braver and stronger than for those of us who haven't had the balls to go face it, essentially.
yeah.
Mm,
I think on the other side, I have a person in my life that, with all of the things that are happening in the government,
Mm.
was like, I don't want any of that stuff on my record. I don't feel
mm,
Mhm.
comfortable. I don't feel safe. So I will not
Mm,
be disclosing that I have any of these diagnoses
Right.
because my
that
job doesn't need to know that. Like they were getting accommodations at work to address some of the issues that they have, some of the diagnoses that they have. And when they were looking for a new employment, they were like, I'm not telling anybody anything. I don't feel comfortable.
that's
Mm.
so valid though, especially, like, with the climate of
Mm.
everything.
Yeah.
Like, of everything.
All of the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when you guys started to feel things or see signs and things like that, did you guys try to just kind of brush it off at first?
Oh yeah.
Or yeah, I'm like, I definitely did. I definitely do, I should say.
Still
Yeah.
even know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still do it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, how do you come to the conclusion, or like what is it that kind of triggers that, okay, no, this is something more versus, oh no, you're fine. Let's just shake it off.
Mm.
I think when it is, for me, I always play that game of like, is it a reaction to what's going on right now, or is this an actual problem? And when things are falling off the rails at home, when I haven't, I check in with myself. I'm like, no, you do matter. There are really good things in the world.
Mhm.
There are people all around you. You are, I always, we always say, like, I'm not a nice person, but I'm a good person.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So I'll tell you the fucking truth. Don't ask me. Literally, don't ask me a question.
Yeah, sweet.
But I like when I start having that, it's noise. It's noise and it's weight.
Yeah.
And so when it's like those blanket statements of nothing is working, no
Mm.
matter what I do, nothing, everything that I touch is turning to shit. And
Mm.
I'm like, hold, whoa, check in. No, like there's a lot of good things going on. Maybe you need to drink some water.
Right. Maybe you need to eat some
acknowledge,
food. That's usually my answer.
acknowledge that that is what you're hearing. It's not what's being said.
Right.
It's not
Mm.
reality.
For me, it's you need to go eat something. You're probably just hungry. No,
Well, sometimes you gotta feed your body.
yeah, real quick, I do want to call out this comment that Shisui put in our YouTube earlier when we were talking about like the kids and stuff. They said, when I was a teenager, I thought I was depressed. When I became an adult and looked back, I realized it was just puberty and not talking about my feelings.
Those
Mm.
hormones be kicking your ass, man.
No,
Yeah.
honestly.
And I really like the game you play, Nikita, with just asking yourself, is this something that's triggered because of something that's actually happening in
Mhm.
reality? Or is this something else that I can't really explain?
Yeah.
Mm.
And honestly think, I feel like that's a good way to not only check in with yourself to see if you're going down
I
that
think, but it also
spiral.
validates your
Yeah.
it validates your feeling while reasoning with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's a good way to actually cope if you're not all the way into the state of depression yet, but
Mm.
you're like getting there. It's a good
Mhm.
way to pull yourself back out, is to play
Mhm.
Nikita's little game. Is this based on reality, or is this shit that I'm just saying to myself on a
Yeah.
regular basis? Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of coping, what are some coping mechanisms or advice that you would give people that has actually helped you?
Find the little things. So I told Bianca even today, um,
Uh,
so being very honest, when Trump won the first time,
Mm,
I was devastated, devastated, devastated. I was crying like brushing my teeth that morning, crying, crying, crying. And I was just like, I just cannot believe this. Like, this is going to be so bad. I cannot believe it. It's a silly story, but it really helped me. I was driving into work and I was not in a good place. There was other things going on too, but I was like, what if I just drive off this bridge right now? Like
mm,
going into
yeah.
work, like people joke around about it,
a
but I was
little
like,
ideation, a little passive ideation,
yeah,
but
no,
could have been real.
exactly. For legal purposes, this is definitely not a thing that happened. But I promise you, I was driving in and I was like, somebody that I know was like, what if I just drove off this bridge right now? and they looked to the side and saw that the McRib was back at McDonald's. And I was like, locked in, baby. Got something to live for. I'm gonna get that fucking McRib.
I got something
So
to live
I
for.
have shared with Bianca that, like, I'm like, you just gotta find your McRib, man. You
Yeah,
got
Oh,
and
I
that's
love
literally what
that.
we say a lot. We're like, "That's the McRib.
that's
That's
it.
the McRib."
I was like,
Everyone
you see
jokes
this
like, "Oh,
slit
that's
right
my
here?
13th reason." We say
Right.
we're like, "That's my McRib."
That's my McRib.
Your McRib is your hope. No.
Yeah.
Because you gotta you gotta find the thing that's gonna, or the people that are living out of spite. I saw somebody post that they were like, look, I tried to kill myself in college, and you think it's gonna be like, oh, it's so fun and edgy. No, it's not. And instead I just keep thinking like, I'm better, like I'm not living because it gets better, because sometimes it doesn't, but
Mm.
sometimes being like, you haven't beat me yet. Out of spite,
Mm.
bitch. I'm still
Mm,
here.
Ha
yeah.
ha. No, just kidding.
Whatever fuels you, man.
Yeah.
Whatever fuels you.
Yeah. For me, because of like my signs have always been more physical when it
Mm,
comes to that stuff. I always think of, so I love the series Friends. I've watched it like a million times over and over and over again. And there's an episode where Ross is getting married again and he's like freaking out. Or was it Ross or Chandler? I can't remember. One of them was getting married
one of
again.
those boys.
They're freaking out. And the way that their friend got them to get through their day was, hey, instead of thinking about the whole day, let's just think about one step at a time.
There's no need to rush.
Yeah, there's no need to rush. There's no need to. So, like, what do you need to do next? Oh, I need to take a shower. Okay, then go take a shower.
Yeah.
Mm,
When it's too
And
much,
then
too
they come
heavy.
out. Yeah, when it's too much, and or you come out like, okay, well, what do you need? Put my clothes on. Okay, go put your clothes on. And so,
mhm,
like, I've found myself doing that even when I'm just feeling overwhelmed at times. Like, I'll stop and just be like, okay, focus on one thing at a time.
mm,
And then I also do like, I have a lot of games that just distract my mind.
Mm,
So, like, I'll grab my phone and start playing a game that's going to cause me to think and focus on the game versus thinking about other outside things. Like, those are the main kind of two things that I
mm.
do. Is to try to distract your mind or focus on one thing at a time.
and you
Yeah.
get that momentum because it's like, I did one thing and the
Right.
next thing, and it's
An
achievable.
achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like,
Um,
praise yourself for it. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Go buy a plant. Eat a McRib.
go buy a plant.
No, for me, it's because I struggle a lot mentally with internal thoughts. I tend to rely on my outside sources to help me to pull me out, because I know that on my own, I could be my own worst enemy. On my own, I will literally be the death of me.
Mm,
So finding that support system to pull me out of that is something that I recognize is my way to um, either stop me, pull me out, or kind of prevent me from going in that direction. I know we kind of joke a lot and say that, like, or I joke a lot to say that, like, that I rely on like verbal affirmations. Like, I need to be told that I'm appreciated. I need to hear the validate. I need to be validated, and that's basically my way of kind of helping me, because the voices in my head are loud. I need the voices outside to be louder. So I go and spend time with people who make me feel like opposite of what I'm thinking that I
Mm,
am.
yeah.
So if I feel
This is
worthless, I'm
amazing.
gonna go to
That's
my sisters
amazing.
because they have been more vocal about, their appreciation.
Yeah.
If I feel lonely, then I'm gonna go spend time with Nikita.
no way, not
I'm
me.
like, I'm going to surround myself with that because, again, I struggle internally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's important, like, especially for those people who do feel the need to isolate,
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
especially if you don't know how you react to your depression,
Mhm.
is like finding that community or finding those support people that will not judge you, first of all.
Mm,
Um,
Throw it in your face.
yeah.
yeah, or that won't dismiss it. You know what I
That.
mean? Like, because
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I was around a lot of people when I lived in California that, looking back, always dismissed the way that I felt
Hmm.
for whatever reasons.
Mm,
So
Well, I think that sometimes people try to be encouraging and they're
right.
like, you got it. But sometimes, like, I don't got it. And I need to
Mhm,
find a soft place where I can
mhm.
start getting it again eventually.
Yeah.
mhm. But I think that's also why it's important, like, when it comes to friendships or relationships of any kind, to preface things. Like, when I have conversations with my best friend, I preface things to her, and I will be like, "Hey, I'm really feeling this way right now, so for this conversation, I want you to just listen."
Mm,
Mhm.
Or,
I like that.
like, I really need to just unload this right now. Or there's times where, like, no, I need your opinion, and it's
Yeah. Give me
different,
some
it's a
advice.
different type of
Mhm.
conversation. So it's like, I think it's important to communicate honestly and transparently with those people that you do find are your support system.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. But there's lots of ways to cope. And of course, like, talking to someone outside of your friends,
Mhm.
seeing a
Right.
therapist or a counselor of some sort, if you're not feeling like you have that support around you, or even if you are, like, sometimes it just helps to get an outside perspective, especially in the situations where you are feeling kind of worthless or not enough.
I love
Yeah.
that they've made the suicide hotline number so much easier after that man made that song with the long, long number.
Logic.
But no, I love that those are those resources and that it's being destigmatized and people
Mm,
can feel safe. To people's points earlier, it may have swung too far over,
Right.
but if that's saving someone's life, if that is saving, even like it doesn't have to get to the point where you are thinking about not being here anymore, but just living every day with that weight, living every day with that cloud over you,
Yeah.
knowing that there are resources, there's medication, there's talk
Mhm.
therapy. Sometimes you just have to take a shower, eat a sandwich, drink some water, feel a little sunshine on your body.
Move your body.
Yeah.
Just move. Get out of your head, literally. Like,
Yeah.
Literally.
step outside, open a window, just things like that. But yeah, we are at the top of the hour and do have to shut down because I think our IG folks are about to get cut off.
No, I'm sorry.
I know, right? But is there any just kind of last minute thoughts, tips, anything that you guys want to say before we go?
Um, your feelings are valid.
Mm.
And if you are, even if you have to make a joke to express your feelings, um, there are resources that you can lean to. Familiarize yourself with those depressive questionnaires that the doctors are asking you.
Mhm.
Acknowledge those signs. Um,
Yeah.
there are medication approaches, holistic approaches. There's therapy. There's circles. There's groups. There's outbursts. There are ways to let out and express that and acknowledge it and treat it and cope with it. Um, yeah, that was a lot.
No, that was all good though.
Yeah.
Nikita,
Find your McRib.
find your McRib. I
Find your
love
McRib, baby.
that.
Find your McRib. Yeah.
You gotta find your McRib. I would definitely suggest, and this was something that I saw online, as I was doing research on all of this, but creating a kind of like a toolkit for yourself and doing this when you're not feeling depressed so that you
Oh,
have it.
Do a
preparedness.
Yeah.
care package.
Yeah. So do like a low energy toolkit or something depending on what your depression looks like for you. So like for me, like I'll think of like a list of my favorite comfort shows and the games that I play on my phone, you know, walk around in my favorite hoodie, just little things that
Mhm.
are going to be kind of like a survival kit for you
Mhm.
during
Yeah.
those hard times. And
I
so
saw a TikToker who made a positivity wall every day he would come home. and on a sticky note, write one good thing that happened. And so whenever he was feeling low and you have that thing that like nothing is good, it's all bad. He was like, every day, look, there's a reason to smile every day. And so
I love
seeing that
that.
is what gave him, I guess that was it was his McWall, but
His McWall.
I
No,
thought
I
that was
love
a good
that.
one. Yeah.
I mean,
I
but
will
to the
say
point,
doing our highs and lows.
that's why we do our
Bianca,
highs and
yeah,
lows. Yep.
Oh,
Bianca said it in one of our episodes. She's like, "You guys forcing me to be grateful every week."
Y'all forced me to see the good side of shit.
I
Fine.
know, right?
silver lining. I guess. I'm grateful for this life.
And we're gonna keep doing it. All right. Well, that is the end of our show today. B, if anyone is out there, can't find us, doesn't know how to listen to us, where do they go?
If they have not already, then you can like, follow, and subscribe to us on our social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at It's No Secret Podcast, and our TikTok at It's No Secret Podcast Live. And if you can't join us on our live stream every Wednesday, then you can definitely listen to us on our Apple and Spotify every Sunday. There you go.
Every single Sunday. Nikita, take us
Sign us
out,
out.
girl.
All right. Well, until next week and the next time that I'm here, remember, it's no secret.
Bye.
Bye.